Climate change is a concerning global issue. Who has the main responsibility to take action to solve this problem? Governments, large companies, or individuals? As cities expand, governments should look forward to creating better networks of public transport available for everyone, rather than building more roads for vehicle-owning population. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Communication has changed significantly in the last 10 years. Discuss the positive and negative impacts of this change. In the past 100 years, there have been many inventions, such as antibiotics, airplanes, and computers. What do you think is the most important one? Why? The information revolution brought about by modern mass communications has both positive and negative consequences for individuals and society. To what extent do you agree with this statement? Give the reason with your own experience. It is argued that getting married before finishing studying or getting established in a good job is foolish. To what extent do you agree or disagree? In many towns and cities, large shopping malls are replacing small local shops. Do you think this is a positive development? Give your reasons and examples. The mass media, such as TV, radio, and newspapers, have an influence on people, particularly on younger generations. It plays a pivotal role in shaping the opinions of people, especially teenagers and young people. To what extent do you agree with this? Please give examples. Many people find that work leaves little time for people's personal life. How widespread do you think it is? How can we solve the problems caused by the shortage of time? Should parents be held legally responsible for the actions of their children? Support your opinion from your study, observations, or experiences. In some companies, employers involve workers in the decision-making process about products and services. What are the advantages and disadvantages of such a policy? Some people point that experiential learning, that is, learning by doing, can work well in formal education. However, others think a traditional form of teaching is the best. Do you think experiential learning can work well in high schools or colleges? Some universities deduct marks from students' work if it is handed in late. What is your opinion? What other actions do you recommend? Do you think the design of buildings affects, either positively or negatively, where people live and work? Medical technology is responsible for increasing the average life expectancy. Do you think it is a curse or a blessing? Nowadays, people who devote too much time to their job leave very little time for their personal and private life. How widespread is the problem? What problem will this shortage of time cause? The world's governments and international organizations confront a multitude of global problems. Which do you think is the most pressing problem for the inhabitants of our planet? And give the solution. What are the problems and the benefits for high school students of studying plays and other works for theater that were written centuries ago? Do you agree with it? Use your own experience to discuss it. With the increase of digital media available online, the role of the library has become obsolete. Universities should only procure new digital media rather than constantly update textbooks. Discuss both the advantages and disadvantages of this position and give your own point of view. Global problems are related to governments and international organizations. What are the problems, and what is your solution? Some people argue that experience is the best teacher, saying life experiences teach people more effectively than books or formal education can. How far do you agree with this statement? Give your reason, or provide your personal experience. Effective study requires time, comfort, and peace. It is impossible to combine a student's learning with employment because one may distract the other. To what extent do you think the statements are realistic? Give your opinion with examples. It is often argued that studying overseas is overrated. There are many scholars who study locally. To what extent do you agree with this? Some people think human behavior can be changed by laws, while others think laws have little effect. What is your opinion? Imagine you have been assigned on the study of climate change. Which area of climate change will you focus on, and why? Use examples. For a less developed country, the disadvantages of tourism are as great as the advantages. Please discuss this statement and explain your opinion. In our technological world, the number of new inventions has been evolving daily. Please describe a new invention and determine whether it has a beneficial or detrimental impact on society. Television serves many useful functions. It helps people to relax. We can learn from television, and it can also be seen as a companion for the lonely. To what extent do you agree with this? Explain why with your own experience. In the future, people will work fewer hours at their jobs than they do now. Do you agree with the statement? Please support your opinion with your own experience. People who are famous entertainers or sports people should give up the right to privacy, as this is the price of fame. To what extent do you agree/disagree with this point of view? Give your opinion with your experiences. Unemployment among young people is a serious problem. One suggested solution is to shorten the working week. What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages? Do you think this policy should apply to just young workers or the whole workforce? Some people think learning a foreign language at school should be compulsory. To what extent do you agree with it? Use your experience or examples to support your viewpoint. Many countries spend large amounts of money on the restoration of historic buildings rather than on modern housing. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this analysis? What are advantages and disadvantages of this? Support your writing with your experience or examples. It is harder for children to grow up in the 21st century than it was in the past. How far do you agree with this statement? Give your opinions. Some people say there should be a maximum wage for high-paying jobs. Do you support that? Can you give your point of view or your own experience? Television has two roles: to inform and to entertain people. Explain which of these roles you see as more important. To what extent do you think that TV today performs each of these roles in an effective way? Support your point of view with details from your own experiences, observations, or reading. Some people prefer to live in cities, while some people prefer to live in the countryside. Which is better for you? Give your reasons or experience. While artificial intelligence becomes so advanced, people can use computers to translate foreign languages. That makes learning a foreign language unnecessary. To what extent do you agree with it? Should marketing in companies which produce consumer goods, like food and clothing, place emphasis on the reputation of the company, or short-term strategies like the discounts and special offers? Why? Some believe the value of travel is highly overrated. One brilliant scholar never leaves the home bases. To what extent do you agree that travel is not a necessary component of a quality education? Technology has made the world a better place to live. To what extent do you agree with this statement?